Hey y'all, it's Chris with Rockin Farm. This is one of those videos that, to be honest with you, I almost hate to shoot, but I promised you I would, so here it is. This is the last garden tour for 2020, so it's the end of December garden tour. The main reason that it's kind of one of those videos I don't really want to shoot is because my winter garden looks horrible. A couple of reasons for this. Primary reason, honestly, I've never been much of a fall gardener. So another reason for that is because I've been very neglectful of the garden. We had all those irrigation issues. I probably wasn't watering as often as I should have. I definitely wasn't getting out here to protect the plants from pest pressure as much as I should have. We've just been really busy with a lot of other stuff. I've never been a huge fall gardener. Next year will be better. So I'm gonna give you a quick show around here, give you an update on where the garden is headed, and this will be our tour for the last month of 2020. So I have a couple things that are doing amazing, no complaints. All the garlic that we got in the ground is doing really good. This bed was one of the beds that had the busted valve to it. Probably hasn't been getting as much water as it should have, but it's still doing really good, and I have a ton of garlic coming in. These two beds here, they both had a whole bunch of different varieties of kales and greens in it. As you can see, there's nothing in these beds now. I'm not 100% sure what the deal was, because kales and greens are supposed to do pretty good in cold weather and frost conditions and stuff like that. They just didn't make it. The very first frost that we got after I got them in the ground, they were all toast. So kind of lessons learned type of stuff. I've got another plant over here I want to show you. These red leaf lettuces have now been through 6 frosts and they are going strong. I love a honey badger plant, a plant that just doesn't care. I try to do that with almost all my varieties whenever I possibly can. You know, if I can put a tree in the ground and I determine that, you know, even though I've got, let's say I've got 5 apple trees that are all the same variety, but one of those apple trees just, it doesn't care if it's hot, it doesn't care if it's cold, it just continues to grow no matter what, and it gives me a ton of fruit. Well, then I'm going to take the genetics of that honey badger apple tree and I'm going to put as many of those apple trees on my property as I possibly can. And if the other ones die, they die. I'll replace them with a honey badger. So now I know that this red leaf lettuce, this Cherokee red leaf lettuce, it's a honey badger lettuce. It doesn't care. It doesn't care how cold it gets. It doesn't care how frosty it gets. It just kind of keeps on growing and lets me keep harvesting leaves off of it. So I won't waste my time with some of the stuff next year that was just toast in the frost, and I'll plant more stuff like this. The garlic chives, they're another honey badger. They do not care how cold it is. They just keep on giving us chives. The broccoli, as horrible as it looks, I was very pleased to see, is starting to give me florets. So, you know, I'm excited about the fact that we're actually going to get some fresh broccoli out of the garden. My cauliflower, on the other hand, is toast. Like, none of it survived. All of my cauliflower is dead. You know, I've got the garlic that's growing in here and it's doing okay. The broccoli, I'm you know, pleased with the fact that it's progressing. Cauliflower, it's a no-go. And the only other thing that I have that's even really worth looking at is more garlic. I planted some elephant garlic over here and it looks excellent. So for being totally honest, that's about the only thing in the garden that's worth showing you. I've got a lot of stuff that's dormant right now. You know, the asparagus, it's all died back and you know, just needs to be pruned off. It'll come back in the spring. My walking onions look horrible, but that's a perennial onion. It'll be back in the spring. So about the only thing that's really worth mentioning in the garden right now is the fact that we're in the middle of another garden expansion. We've added 2 more boxes right here in the main garden. So this is another 108 plantable square feet of garden space. And then I did another, I did more brush clearing for where the garden is going to expand into. Right now I'm going to drop some footage in that I took a few days ago of kind of the before shots of me starting to get in there and clear that area out. I'm going to show you the work that I want to get done today. I've got Jose doing some stuff in the garden for me. He's going to start filling those boxes that we put in there. So I'm going to real quick walk around and show you what I hope to accomplish. And then hopefully I'm going to shoot some video of what I accomplished. Here we go. All right, y'all. So here's the existing garden space. This is the nastiness that exists between the garden spaces. And over here is the garden space that we're moving into. So anybody who's watched my past videos, which I will link to right up in the corner, you know that we're trying to get ready for a big garden expansion. From right about where those rocks are, that's basically where we eventually want to put the pass through from one garden to the other. So that means that I want to clean all of this out so that we can actually see into the new garden space from the house. I need to cut up some of the stuff I've already felled. And then basically this line right about here, from here that way, all needs to come out. So that was the before, here's the after. Got myself a burn pile here that we're gonna have to take care of, but all of this has been cleared out. All of this down here has been cleared out. We're gonna leave this mess over here as a windbreak. My eventual goal is to come right here along the fence line and put in a good forage tree that I can coppice and then be able to take that forage and feed it to my animals. This is the big nasty tree. I had to change out a chainsaw blade so that I could kind of keep working in this area, and by the time I got the blade done, I'd run out of steam for the day. So that stump needs to get ground down to the ground. I've got to chop all that up and get it all out of here. But basically what we have with this new area is space for another, for the coppice trees along the fence line, like I said, but I can put 1, 2, 3 more beds. And then coming this way, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I say 9 new beds, that's the 16 by 4 bed. So at 54 plantable square feet per bed, that's almost another 500 plantable square feet. And that's just those beds. I'll see if I can kind of draw it out with my finger here and show you what I mean by just those beds. So the fence line is going to run right along this mess, and then it's going to follow this little dry creek bed right in front of that burn pile all the way up to my mulch piles, at which time it will come back across here to this fence. So what that's going to mean is that while I don't want to plant anything, or I don't want to put any boxes right here, because it's another little draw runoff area, although not nearly as much water comes through here, I still just don't want to risk it. We've got this space here, because if the fence line comes here and then back over across this tree, that means I've got space here for more smaller beds. I can probably put some 8 by 4 beds in that area. All said and done, by the time this area is completely planted and the main garden is completely planted, we're probably going to have somewhere around 15 to 1700 square feet of plantable garden space. That's going to be able to produce a lot of produce for my family, and it's also going to be able to give us enough to hopefully take some to a farmer's market or sell, or even just give to neighbors. I guess you just have to take the ups with the downs. I've learned a lot of lessons about fall gardening, and to me that's what it's all about. So while this may not have been a super impressive gardening video or garden tour, I'm still hoping that it was informative. Like I said, I learned a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of lessons through my failures, and I'm hoping that helps some of y'all as well. So until I see everybody again, this has been Chris with Rockin Farm. Please don't forget to subscribe and click that little ringy bell so you can get notifications every time I post a video. Also, head on over to the website, rockin8farm.com. That's ROCKIN, the number 8 FARM.com. And check out the blog posts, check out the videos that we have on the website. And don't forget to check out that Plant a Tree program. Until I see everybody again, I want you all to be happy and live healthy.